Hey everybody, it is Love and Relo, the voices of the relocation industry. I'm your host, Ben Cross. Hope you are having a blessed and optimistic Thursday. I hope you're staying safe and sanitized out there, and looking at the bright side, because there's always a bright side. I was watching something actually last night on Facebook, actually, that a friend of mine, Bill Mulholland from American Relocation Connections, posted, and he posted a video about how he was dealing with this pandemic right now, and he pointed out that in Chinese, the word or symbol for crisis was also the word for opportunity. And I thought that was just such an amazingly wonderful message, and it resonated with me. And so shout out to Bill and people like Bill who are thinking like that. I think in every time we're faced with adversity, there's an opportunity for us to kind of dig deep and rethink what we're doing, and shift and meet the new needs of our customers. So I encourage you all out there to think about that, and hopefully adapt, and come out of this thing even better than we were before. Today, I was supposed to have a guest, and actually my guest was actually ill in San Francisco, but I think he's COVID doubtful. So I don't think it's that. I just think he has a pretty bad sinus infection. So thoughts and prayers to him right now. But instead, I wanted to do something that I kind of flirted with earlier in the week. And this show is really all about you out there. It's Love and Relo, because it's about the love for the people out there that are in the relocation industry. And so I wasn't even going to do this show. I was going to cancel it. But a good friend of mine in the relocation industry texted me and said, "Hey, what time's the show at?" And I said, gosh, Brad, I'm going to put him out there. Brad, Hamlin from REI, one of my good buddies. I said, Brad, I can't think about it. I'm doing other stuff. My guest canceled on me. I don't feel like it. I don't want to do it anymore, And he's like, "Come on, you could do it. People are counting on you." And I'm like, "Oh gosh, all right, fine, cool." So here I am. I'm showing up for y'all. I hope you're tuning in for me. I'm going to give shout outs to people that tune in. This is going to be really a viewer driven show and programming. I've got some notes, I've got some highlights and some things that I want to go over and just give people updates. Put a lot of posts on the Facebook page at Love and Relo on Facebook, where you can find a lot of COVID-19 updates and how the relocation industry is responding. But really, it's all about you today. I want you in the comments commenting. I'm actually putting a link out here so you can come on and join me now. So if you ever wanted to be on Love and Relo and it hadn't worked out before, I'm going to open it up right now. Or if you have a story or just something that happened or is going on in your organization or with some of your transferees, or anything you're seeing out there that you want to share, you think other people could benefit from, I want to just give you a platform. Call in, use the link below. You can just copy and paste that, or type it, or write it down, whatever, put it into your browser. This will bring you right into the studio with me. I'll see you down below. I'll wait for a moment for a pause, break in the action. I'll bring you on, and I'd love to hear what you have to say. You're not going to be on camera right away. We'll give you a little chill moment, but I'd love to bring you on, hear what you have to say. All you need is a webcam and an opinion, right? That's the age we live in. You just need a webcam and an opinion, right? To those of you on Facebook and YouTube right now, please hit the like button. Please drop me a comment. Love to know you're out there. I see a bunch of you watching right now. For those of you on LinkedIn as well, please go ahead and just let me know where you're watching from, maybe the name of your company. I'm going to get back to giving shout outs. I know I haven't been super great about giving shout outs lately, so I'm going to get back to doing that as well. All right. So go ahead and just drop one there in the comments, hit that like button, that celebration button. I appreciate it. I'm going to make sure I give y'all shout outs here. I'm looking here for my on LinkedIn so I can see you guys. Bear with me. It's so funny. This is like still so beta. Cool. I even put my phone number. This is my actual phone number. I put my phone number on the internet. That's how much I care about you. I put my phone number out there. I'll put it on here right now as well. Call me, 518-253-0172. Boom. Boom. You can call me right there. I'd love to hear from you. You know, you don't have to be super smart. Just want to hear what's going on with you. I want to know how this is impacting you, how this is impacting your business as well. So let's see. We got some comments here. We got about 34 people on LinkedIn live watching this right now. A few on Facebook as well. Tim Quirk, what up, Ben? What's up, Tim? Simon Johns, hi from the UK. Simon, I want to know what's going on. Don't call me on that number because I'm going to get crazy charges overseas. But Simon, hit me on WhatsApp. Use that number. Call me on WhatsApp. I want to hear what's going on in your world. Dan Bagley, hi, Ben. Great show as always. Hey, Dan, how's it going? Also, hit me up. Tim, I see you on there coming in to the studio. Appreciate that. Danny Vandermeer, greetings from Netherlands. All stay safe and healthy. Thank you, Danny. You too, you and yours. If you want to come on, there's, hit me on the WhatsApp there using this phone number. Please do not call me overseas on this phone number, but you can hit me on WhatsApp using this phone number. Okay, I learned that lesson the hard way 2 months ago. $80 phone bill for a 15-minute phone call. Never do that again. James Grady, hello from ArcBest. Our company is still fully operational if you need us. Thanks, James. Appreciate you being a loyal viewer. Paula Kupka, hello, Ben. Hey, Paul over at Crown Relo. Heather Jameson, hi, Ben, watching here in Michigan. Hey, Heather, stay safe out there. Stay sanitized. Oh, we got some friends popping in the booth here. This is awesome. Some really great people coming on here, so just stay tuned. Kelly Gurin, what's up, Ben? Kelly from Shift in Phoenix. Hey, Kelly, hope everything's working out for you over there. Glad to see you again. Stephen Christie, Christie, SC Move Management SoCal. Hey, Stephen, appreciate you. Stephen's my son's name with a V also. I know it's always important. Drew Phillips, what's up, Ben? Drew here in the California, the Yay area from Sterling Lexicon. Loving you, bro. Hey, Drew, I want to know what's going on out there in San Francisco, man. Call me, call in, or hit that link over here. I want to hear if those of you who are in the Bay and it might be locked down. What does a lockdown even mean? A lot of us are facing that prospect wherever we happen to be in the country, and I want to know what that even means, okay? Those of you who are waiting, the guests here to come on, just keep hanging in there for me, all right? Renee Daniels, hi from Raleigh. Hey, Renee. Molly Feldman, greetings from Molly in Jacksonville, Florida. Hey, Molly. Brad Hamlin, hey, Ben, love you, man. Simon Johns, the lights have been switched off. Simon, what the hell does that mean, the lights have been switched off? I need more information. Hit me on WhatsApp. You got my phone number right here. Or you got me, you got there too if you want to come on. If you got internet, I don't even know if you have internet, if you got no lights. Patrick Dodson, hello, Ben. Pat with Firefighting's Finest. Stay strong, America. Hey, Pat, keep bearing the torch down there in Fort Worth, brother. Mary Smith, greetings from Green Ridge Relocation in West Michigan. Hey, Mary, thanks. Another Michigander there. Hey, Mary, we're up to 300 and something cases now in Michigan. Stay safe and sanitized out there. Simon Mason, hi, Ben from London. Hey, Simon. Terry Head, I've been through 50 plus years of ups and downs in this industry. We will get through this. Thank you, Terry. Feel free to call in as well. Terry was the first person talking to me about the coronavirus. I was like, nah, Terry, whatever, man. By the time I get a show together, it's going to be over. He was right. I was wrong. It's here and it's a thing. Alina Anderson Delay, greetings from Maryland. Hey, Alina, she's going to be on the show tomorrow. So stay tuned for that. It's going to be great. Michael Cadden, home office in Milford, Connecticut, staying safe and socially distant. Thanks, Michael. But still checking in. That's the other thing, guys. We're socially distant. We're taking precautions, but we're still staying connected, which is the beauty of social networks, right? Yelena Lukovic, hi, Ben. Greetings from Serbia. Hey, how's it going? Jennifer Rodriguez, hi, Ben. Excited to hear about everyone's feedback on COVID-19. Me too, Jennifer. Feel free to come in here at the booth or give me a call. Love to hear from you out in Chi-Town. We are in this together, she says. Thank you for sticking with me through that. I want to welcome to the show a couple of friends here who are in the booth who took me up on my offer. Can't believe you guys are actually listening out there. Ryan Beal says no tie today. That's right. I kind of like the collar no tie. Kind of elongates me a little bit. Craig Allen, hey, Ben. Good seeing you at the conference. You too, Craig. Sorry I hugged you, buddy. Janet Turner, hey, Ben. #1 fan, Accelerate International. I love y'all so much. All right, cool. Let's get to it here. We got a few guests coming on here. Going to welcome first come, first serve. A good friend of mine coming to the stream, Tim Quirk from Atlas International. How you doing, Tim?
Great, Ben. How are you, my friend?
It's good to see you, brother.
I got the T-shirt, suspenders, and sport coat.
What are you, a hipster?
Hey, what
are you going to make me a fancy cocktail? I love it. I love it. How are
Hey,
you
man.
doing, man? Are you in Rochester right now?
Yep. Yes, sir. Home office, Rochester, actually, Bergen, New York. Most of you would call that Bergen, but here in Western New York, we pronounce that Bergen.
But yeah, that's Jersey, and let's not confuse the two, right? So tell me, Tim, what are you seeing out there? I mean, you manage an international supply chain. You do a lot of relocations. You are on the moving side, admittedly. I also want to hear from anybody out there that's in the corporate relocation side or within other service provider sectors. But Tim, what are you seeing out there right now?
You know, before, if I may, Ben, before we get into that, what I want to say is that I'm focusing on the good that is coming from out of the
Preach.
COVID-19 coronavirus, and a couple of big things I've noticed. I know on this program the other day, Tim Hellenthal was talking about the real winner are the dogs because they're being walked so many times, and luckily my house is right next to a park, so I get to watch the sidewalk here from time to time, and he's right on that. But seriously. Because people are concerned and because people are reaching out, we have just via the WhatsApp app, a friend of ours who we haven't spoken to in probably 12 years, who lives in Spain, reached out to us, found us, reached out to us, and she got a baby now. He's going to be one this month, and she reached out, number one, because she was concerned for us, because she's dealing with what she believes we'll be dealing with in a few months. So
Right, they're ahead of us over there in Spain. Now, is she on lockdown?
she
Oh, no.
is. She is. Yeah.
So you're reconnecting with people you haven't
Reconnecting.
talked to in a while.
And my wife reached out to neighborhood people because our school is going to be providing meals, for people that need them, lunches and breakfast. And my wife just put a note: "Hey, if anybody needs me to pick up a meal for you, let me know." So amazed and so happy that people took her up on her offer, and the meals start Monday, and she's got a whole route that she's going to be able to pick up for, but she also asked everybody, "Do you need anything now?" And a lot of people needed something, bread, milk, simple things that hopefully we all have. But this is in my community, and it's a small farm community. It's very rural. But I guess I would say a lot of good can come from this. Let's reach out, though. It took my wife reaching out to our neighbors, really, people that we don't know, but they live in our small little community. So I would encourage everybody, on all of your followers, wherever they are in the world, to make sure that we are doing this, to make sure that the simple necessities of life, people will be able to have until maybe government aid or other programs start.
Yeah, that's a really touching message, Tim. I thank you for sharing that. I'm also going to bring on another friend who's waiting patiently here, Adam Lowy from Move for Hunger. Adam, come on there.
How's it going? Greetings from my bedroom.
Awesome.
Whoa, I never thought I'd hear that.
This is fantastic, man. So Adam, you're self-isolating there, it looks like, in New Jersey. What's your status right now? What's your state?
It's my wife and I in our 2-bedroom condo with our 20-month-old baby, with no childcare right now. Both of us working different hours of the day. We've turned our master closet into a home office for my wife. So when the baby comes to the door, she doesn't see mommy because mommy's at work. But it's been an interesting shift, I'd say the least. And I'm sure a lot of you are kind of feeling that right now as well, of just kind of like the added pressure of what's going on and what does home time versus work time look like, as Tim adds some more Purell to his hands. I think we're all trying to navigate it. My whole team, we're working remote at the very least for the next few weeks, from everything I've been reading and hearing from my friends and colleagues, not only here in the States, but around the world. I feel like this could be well more than a month where we're thinking about working from home. For Move for Hunger, kind of playing on what Tim was saying earlier, it's been really nice to see the companies and the community that we've been working with want to step up. You know, we have a lot of people that want to hold food drives right now. You know, it's not in anyone's best interest to really gather and bring food to a central location. So while food drives are off the table temporarily, the recovery of this is going to take a long time. People are going to be in need for a while. And already, though, with the transportation resources that our industry has, I'm seeing moving companies supporting local food banks today. And that's been really comforting to see the action we've been able to kind of start to see moving today.
Adam, if people, you know, I was thinking about you because I was watching Jimmy Kimmel and I was watching Jimmy Fallon on YouTube last night.
I will not be broadcasting from my bathtub like Stephen Colbert, but yes.
Yeah, and you know what, they were both wanting to donate to charities, and they both had hunger relief charities, and because of children who do not go to school, who rely on school lunch, are, you know, if that's the only meal they even get, some of them, and they're not even getting that. And it made me think about you. And I think, you know what, here we are in the spirit of things. Let's plug Move for Hunger and how people can get involved and donate as well. Adam, what should people do if they want to donate and help with hunger relief for kids that can't get school lunch?
Absolutely. You know, I definitely recommend, please make a donation to moveforhunger.org/donate. That's the easiest way to support our organization. What we are actively doing now and will be doing over the next several months is working with food banks to distribute the food out, to help them get this food to places in need, not just children who certainly desperately need it because they're out of school, but also senior living facilities who are most at risk and can't always get out to the grocery store, and nobody can really come in at this point either. We have a mover going out today to help Food Share in Oxford, California. And they're going to, you know, make sure, like, the food banks, some of these food banks have food right now and the government is providing them with more food, but getting people to that food or getting that food to the people and to the other partner agencies across the country, that's a challenge. So moveforhunger.org/donate. Certainly, if you want to donate to your local food banks as well, they could certainly use all the support that you can find. To any of the relocation management companies or sales or account managers that might be joining in today, if any of you have clients that are food manufacturers or major food brands, I would love to get in touch with them. Oftentimes, aging inventory is often tossed. We have the capacity, and our members have the capacity to maybe pick up some of those loads and get that directly to food banks. So I'd much rather see that food get picked up than thrown in the trash can, especially because so much of it is really good. So if any of you have contacts within, I'd say, the food industry, please let me know. We're already doing outreach to some of the nation's leading grocery stores, and you know, the more contacts that we can have, the better we can send trucks out to get this food picked up and delivered to people in need.
So Adam, how has this changed how Move for Hunger is operating right now? I mean, you mentioned doing less food drives. I know you probably have some truck pulls that maybe are getting impacted. I mean, how does you know, how is this pandemic affecting your, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I'll be honest. I had a conversation with my leadership this morning. We're talking to our board next week as well. It's a challenge. I think we're going through what a lot of other small and really every size business, even on the for-profit side, is going through. You know, we're thinking about what are the options that we have to try to keep, you know, the team here. Certainly, we're not at the point where we have to do any layoffs yet. Letting my team know for any of you that might be watching this. But I think, you know, it's something that everybody's thinking about. We want to be able to keep everybody here. We're projecting a lot less truck pulls. We know people are going to be probably a little bit tighter with some of the budgets that they had for this year. We're still hoping that they'll consider making a generous donation just because of these troubling times, and the fact that we are helping to solve a basic human need here. But it's a challenge. I mean, I'll say the one good thing about Move for Hunger is we pride ourselves in being very tech savvy. Working remotely has not impacted us from a remote standpoint in a major way. You know, we have a couple employees that might go in once or twice a week to check the mail or maybe mail out a couple of things, but we are able to do a lot remotely, and that's been really, really helpful for us to at least continue some sense of normalcy. But yeah, I mean, and any conversations that we're having, any type of, I think fundraisers hopefully will take up a little bit. And if any of you want to hold a fundraiser for Move for Hunger, certainly we'd love to work with you.
Yeah, I noticed Tanya Maratini. Big shout out to Tanya. Tanya. She's fantastic. What a great heart she has. I know she was out there promoting a fundraiser she was doing for Move for Hunger. So that kind of stuff is fantastic. I want to give some shout outs real quick to people checking in here on the LinkedIn. Let's see here. A lot of folks watching this. A lot of big hearts out there. Anthony Walmsley, hey Ben. Nick DeBruyen, hey Ben. Greetings from the Netherlands. We are still operation with Dutchify. Now is the time to show the true values of your company to get support from your client base. Anybody that's watching this, especially people overseas, I would love to see you all. I'd love to see somebody kind of join here. We can have up to 6 people, and if I got to boot Quirk, I'll boot Quirk. But no, I want to give more perspectives. And if you're another service, service verticals, I have an RMC, a friend of mine who's about to pop on. So anybody else, I'd love to hear from other folks. Lisa Johnson, hi Ben. Lisa Johnson from Crown World Mobility, joining from Brooklyn, New York. Brooklyn's in the house. Michael Cadden, LOL. Ben Shiner, hello Ben. This is Ben from Global Relocations, London. Ben. Thanks, Tim. Oh, I love you guys. Hey, Ben Shiner, if you're watching this, I'd love to hear your perspective from London. I hear things are kind of wacky out there. Here, there's a lot of layoffs going on out there. I'd love to hear a perspective from across the pond. Use the link there. Let's see here. Casey Myers. Hi, Ben. Casey Myers with Champion Risk and Insurance Services in Napa, California. Interested to hear how it's going for movers nationwide. Casey, I'd love to know, is Napa impacted by the Bay Area shutdown? It's just about a 45-hour north of the Bay. Love to hear what you're seeing out there. Michael Cadden, Molly, the dog, is very happy. My kids call every day, too. That's nice. Roy Ramirez, good afternoon from Many Moves in Broadview, Illinois. Shout out to Michael Klarner. Molly Feldman. Molly, most Mollies I know are dogs. Great name for an Irish setter. Oh, people are great. Christian, hello from Atlanta. We got some more people from London checking in, or from England checking in, I should say, Lancashire. Shout out to Move for Hunger and Crown, says Lisa Johnson. Belinda Haller, hello from LA. LA, is that impacted? I know NorCal is SoCal impacted. Love to hear from you. And also, if you want to join, hop on. Chad Falkenberg, hashtag SoilWorks Solution, are part of the Department of Defense's virus contingency plans. A little bit of a plug, soilworks.com, a lot of hashtags. Anthony Walmsley, all schools are shut down here, so we can't deliver anything good, anything to keep busy. I think, they're just telling me that schools are closing over there in the UK. They've been closed over here for about a week now with a lot of states. I'm assuming New York and New Jersey both, right?
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Hello from Dubai, Sean Wood. Love to hear, how's Dubai handling this? I haven't heard anything about Dubai. I've heard Iran is having a tough time. Anthony says we have 10 cases within 4 miles, about the same over here too, Anthony. Mark Gray, good afternoon, gentlemen, from Atlanta, Georgia. More and more of my moving and storage clients are implementing a hiring freeze. Mark, hit that link right there. I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to hear about the hiring freeze. Victoria McCullough, hi, Ben, COVID-19, go away. And then Jake Lowry joining from Kansas City, Missouri. Hey, everybody, I'm going to bring on another friend of mine, Brad Hamlin from Relocation America International. Hey, buddy, how you doing?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
Good. And I presume you are hunkering down there?
I am hunkering down. REI, all of our team members are working remotely, and we're open for business. And relocation activity is still coming in. We have had some postponements. No outright cancellations as of yet, but certainly I would expect that to happen in the future, depending on how long all of this goes on for.
So the volumes are kind of what you would anticipate and consistent with the March right now, you think?
Yeah, I mean, kind of following this story over the last month, I could kind of see maybe that it was coming. Certainly, nobody could have expected here, just how drastic the shutdown orders have been, from the state of Michigan government and the federal government. But yeah, I mean, it's slowed down, obviously. And you obviously, as our household goods carrier, can attest to that. But
so like probably
it's
80
not
to 90% of typical volumes right now, but maybe more.
Yeah. Some of our clients, or most of them, are kind of taking a wait and see, where maybe they're delaying for 2-3 weeks before, we get more information and see how things play out. But we're not getting, at least, our clients are not giving us the complete cancellation for their transferring employees. So
yeah, I mean, I have a theory about
good.
that, right? I mean, the moves that are going on. I've talked to several RMCs today, Brad, and they're saying what you're saying as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
That initiations are still strong and maybe even surprisingly strong, while being a little bit off of what they would normally be. They're still kind of surprised that they're strong. I think a lot of what we're seeing right now from initiation volumes is plans that have been in the works for a month or two, and then we're seeing that kind of the pipeline flush out. I think we will see over the next month a kind of a drying and a softening there.
Yeah, I can see that.
And then hopefully that volume can manifest in peak season or later in the year, and hopefully it doesn't just go away, right? I mean,
yeah, obviously we hope.
Do you? I mean,
obviously it's a time of tremendous disruption for us, obviously as RMCs. As well as for our corporate clients, as well as our supply partners, in speaking to our temporary living providers, they've been hit with, waves of cancellations. So certainly there's going to be a lot of stress for the temporary living companies that are out there. I'm
sorry, I just want to touch on that one thing you talked about, temp living. Are you seeing a change in the election of benefits? Like, for instance, people using less temp living, maybe they're still moving, but they're not using temp living as much because of the concern there, or not?
No, we're not seeing that. What we are seeing from, temporary living partners that we work with is a lot of flexibility as it relates to postponement of relocations and potential temporary living assignments for them. Typically in the past, if you signed a lease for an employee's corporate apartment, and for some reason the employee canceled or the move was canceled, you certainly have that lease. The provider would do their very best to try to re-rent it, but there was still some financial obligation that's there. But some of the providers that I've spoken to, they've kind of changed that up a little bit, and what they're doing is saying we can go ahead and they'll put it back out into circulation, and if they're able to rent it to someone else, they'll do that. And if the employee at a later time decides that he or she needs that particular unit and it's available, they'll re-rent it to us at the same price that was before. But certainly, as far as the straight financial obligation, they seem to be more lenient, because obviously nobody could have anticipated something like this and what was going to happen. What I have also heard is from one of our partners that we work with that does all of our sourcing through their cloud platform, is there is rightfully so, some hesitancy on the part of temporary living providers to take out new units and sign new leases, because certainly not knowing how hard they're going to be hit, they don't want to add any more risk to their pipeline. So we're hearing that, and we're also hearing that some are requiring 12-month leases at a very minimum, which of course, if you've got somebody that only needs, for example, 90 days, and you're forced to sign a 12-month lease, the cost to that unit would be extremely expensive. So that's kind of some of the chatter that I'm hearing on that side of the business.
Have you seen any softening in prices on those units due to a lack of demand or a concern about demand?
Not yet. Not yet. We did have somebody going down to El Paso who was, this particular client, they were approved to relocate. You needed special permission given what's happening, and they were given the approval. And there happened to be an abundance of vacant temporary living units that we could pick from. So we actually we did in that situation we did get some pretty good pricing.
We also have somebody coming into us via the phone lines. This is fun.
Oh.
I get to pretend like I have a show. Isn't this
Well, I'm
fun?
glad that you did this, because certainly the more information that we all have, the more information we can all share, the better prepared we can be for our clients. So I think this is a valuable service, and especially if you're at home like me, you're not used to working remotely. It's just a nice way to be able to communicate with other people and socialize.
Maintain that community, right?
Exactly.
On the phone here, joining us is Roger Sorhagen with Syracuse Allied. How are you, Roger?
Good, hanging in there. How about you guys?
Good, good. Can those of you who are watching, can you hear Roger right now? Yep. Okay, Roger, go ahead. What do you got?
All right. So I just, Ben, I'm sending you something over.
And you're live on the air, Roger. Just want to make sure we're clear about that.
I'm so happy to be live and to be with you. So I'm sending something. I'm emailing it over to you. This is hot off of the presses, literally. This was, and I'm sending it to you right now, Ben. It's a survey that was performed by Serva Relocation Management.
Okay.
And they surveyed 59 account managers within Serva. And it's just a great breakdown as to, they surveyed them to really bring everybody up to speed.
Regarding coronavirus?
And regarding how the moves are being managed. So there's a survey there that they surveyed 59 of Serva's account managers. And one of the questions was, the first question was, how are new moves being managed? And there's a breakdown. I just sent it to you. I've also posted it on LinkedIn. And certainly Serva is, one of the largest relocation management companies, handling thousands and thousands of relocations. So this will give you an idea of how it's really being impacted. And these are real numbers. So some of the questions are, how are new moves being managed? And they responded in percentages. How many are on hold for highly impacted locations? 41% of those relocations are on hold. 34 are reassessing when the relocation is going to be approved. Some said business as usual. 8% was new authorizations on hold. And it goes on to another question: how are in-process moves being managed? How are volumes being impacted? They responded. 64% of those relocation managers said there was a tremendous slowdown in the process.
So if I'm hearing you correctly, Roger, what you're saying is, of this Serva survey of 59 clients, I guess,
59 account managers that handle, some of the largest accounts.
Okay. So this is an
Correct.
internal survey of their employee account managers who are presumably talking to their clients, and
Exactly.
they're saying 41% of them are saying that, or 41% of moves are on hold, is what they're saying.
Yep.
Okay.
And breaking it down. So, I'm sure that, are you able to open it?
I haven't received it yet. I mean, this is live television right here, guys. I mean, we're breaking news right now. It's hot. We got
guys, I also posted it on my LinkedIn. It's a great survey. And I just hope everybody will stay safe and we're all going to get through this. And I think we're going to be smacked with a busy season, hopefully that we've never seen before, both from an RMC point of view as well as from the moving and storage industry, because it's going to be one heck of a lot of tonnage to service when we get through with this.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be something. It's going to be something for sure. I'm just managing some. I'm producer and host here, so give me a break here. Brad always texts me and tells me about my drooping eyes, and I'm like, no, Brad, I'm not knocking off here. I'm actually
well, I'll throw out there that your eyelids are looking heavy.
Oh my gosh, it's all these late nights reading all this COVID-19 news.
There's a lot out there.
So Roger, go ahead and send me that. I will also go ahead once I get that, and I will post it to the Love and Relo page on Facebook. And Roger, I really appreciate you calling in and giving us that update.
Yeah, I think those numbers are really indicative to what's going on, and I know that if there's any country in the world that can figure out how to fix this thing, it's going to be us. And there's no question in my mind about that. It's just stay safe. And then it's good to see you. And thank you guys for listening. And I hope that what I shared is relevant and shed some light for everybody.
It's good to see you too. Love you, Roger. Take care, bud.
Okay. Take it easy, buddy.
All right.
Okay, bye-bye.
Man, we got the call-ins going, Brad. I mean that's
You're a natural for this, though.
I'm a thick Anderson Cooper. No, but
You're killing me.
No, but I mean, it's so much fun when we can crowdsource information once we put our heads together. We all know a little tiny bit, but when we put our heads together, we get the whole puzzle,
Well, there's so much to consider. I mean, certainly if you're an RMC, a management company, there's so many different pieces to the puzzle that you have to consider. You have, shipping, you have, mortgage assistance, there's the real estate piece, there's temporary living, there's all those sorts of things that you have to consider. And certainly you want to make sure that the suppliers that you're working with, they're strong, they're engaged, that their employees are safe, because of course that's the number one concern for everybody, is to make sure that that they are practicing social distancing, that they're working at home if they possibly can, and because it's extremely important.
What are you seeing? So your company is also owned by one of the largest real estate companies in Michigan or in the country. Do you get any feedback from them regarding the real estate market as well as it pertains to this virus and how that impact might play out?
Well, I think it's probably too early in the process for us. It's, obviously business as usual. It will be impacted. On the real estate piece, I just think it's probably a little early in this whole process to know, what's going to happen to the market. I mean, certainly you would expect closings to be delayed if relocations are delayed, but the information that I've received, from ownership is showings are still going on, closings are still happening. There's more remote closings than there ever have been, and we've kind of adapted as a company to this new reality, because certainly it sounds like it's going to be with us for a while.
That brings up a great point, Brad. And as I've talked to my friends in the relocation business within all sorts of verticals, one thing keeps coming up, and it's what is the impact like short term, but what is the impact like long term? What does relocation look like going forward when the dust settles and the curve is flattened and the curve is shortened and we get through this and everybody's healthy again? 6 months, whatever, year, who knows, 6 weeks, 6 months, year. How is relocation impacted long term, do you think, by this?
There's probably going to be some impact, but I don't think it's going to be as great as some people might think it would be. I mean, obviously, the best ideas that come about from anybody, from corporations, from teams, what have you, are when people get together, socialize, network, share information and share ideas. And certainly, I can't see that remote work is going to completely replace greatly reduce, I should say, the need for relocations. And it's going to have a huge impact where all of a sudden all the pipelines for initiations just completely stop. I personally don't think that that's going to happen.
Yeah, I'm of two minds on it. I mean, I think on the one hand, I think that this is going to establish a new paradigm for how business can be conducted. All these tools, like, I mean, what we're doing right now, you know,
Right.
There's going to be so much pressure to innovate with video conferencing and virtual meeting, replicating the immersive experience of being face to face with someone. And I think we're going to make leaps and bounds in the next 12 months in this. And it's scary how much it might impact. Well, hey, do I really need to move? If I can have a fully immersive and collaborative experience, do I need to move? Yes or no? The other side of it is, and I'm watching Kimmel last night, I'm watching Fallon last night, and they're broadcasting from their homes. And Jimmy Fallon's got his daughter climbing all over his head. He can't even film the episode because they're going crazy in the background. I know if I was working from home right now, my little minions would be, you know, gnawing at my ankle or something. And it brings to the forefront, I think, that there is, for a great population, there is a productivity hit when you go home, and, you know, it's hard to separate. You know, and I do think I think this is going to provide excellent an excellent object lesson in the viability of work from home on a large scale.
Yeah, I definitely think you're correct there. You know, some lessons can be learned. You know, me, I'm kind of like, I like sitting with my team, going over ideas.
Involved. You're always on the floor. You have an office, but you're always working hand in hand with these people.
Absolutely. You know, I guess my preference would be to sit out with my team members and coach them and provide information. And that's just something that I enjoy. I kind of look at myself more as a coach and a mentor versus, you know, a boss, where I'm sitting in an office and I'm barking orders out the door or sending emails out. But that's just me. That's how I operate.
I agree. I think, you know, leadership's, and I'm going to talk about that for 1 second here. You know, leadership, I've been talking about leadership a lot in the context of this, right? And I think you touched on it just now without calling it such, but you touched on it. And there's people that lead behind a desk. There's people that lead behind their office doors. There's people whose version of leadership is buck up, buttercup, you know, soldier on.
Not a fan of that.
You know, no, yeah, exactly. And I think you have to get out in front. I think you have to make hard decisions, unpopular decisions that might be the right decision. And I think that's when you get when you see true leadership. In times like this, it's very interesting. It's very interesting to see how people react, you know.
Well, you have to trust your employees, and you have to empower them to make good decisions in the best interest of your clients. And certainly, because somebody's working remotely, you have to trust that they're going to carry that out just as well as they would if they're working from the home office. And I happen to think we have a great group of people, caring individuals, and we really have not missed a beat since all of us have gone to a home office. No disruptions in services, nothing. I mean, certainly you occasionally you'll get a client that will call in and want to know what the extent of the service is, where, you know, oh, can we get an estimate for this? Or, you know, are you able to get us an estimate for this? Because maybe they're thinking certain supply partners are no longer working. But, you know, there's contingency plans for everything, and we haven't missed a beat, really.
That's great. I'm going to go through some of these comments as well and see what the folks are talking about here. I always like to keep y'all in the loop here. We're up to 51 people on LinkedIn Live.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, it is good. I mean, you're a real draw there. And we got another 9 on the
That's
book.
because I don't come on at all.
We got another 9 on the book, and I got my first angry face of all time by Brian Friedman. Appreciate you, Brian. Oh, goodness gracious. All right, here we go. Let's see here. Let's see. We got the Dubai. We got the London. Michael Quigley, let's do a virtual truck pull. All right, Michael, me versus you, buddy. Let's virtually pull this thing.
There you go.
There we go. That's great. Jason Rollins, greeting from Express Corporate Housing. Casey Myers, answering my question about Napa. Shelter in place order goes into effect tonight at midnight for Napa County.
Wow.
Most movers are continuing operations as essential businesses. So that's interesting. So customers have to shelter in place, but moving is considered essential business. So moving is continuing.
I would agree with that.
Now, if the stuff moves, but the people can't leave,
that's a problem.
shove them in the truck, charge a bulky, keep it moving. Oh my gosh. Interesting. Thank you, Casey. I appreciate it. Live on the street there. Shelly Bishop. Hey, Shell. Hi, guys. I miss seeing you, Ben and Brad. Miss you too, Shelly. Big virtual hug coming at you. Roy Ramirez. Half our office is working remotely. Warehouse at full staff. Only one job locally has postponed. Do not know about nationally. I have not seen any drop off in business. It actually has seemed to get. I'm going to finish that. Busier. Yeah. Let's say.
Maybe with that, maybe they're seeing a spike in volume because there's some anticipation that eventually everything's going to be shut down and they want to get their move completed before then.
That's right. There's a rush. There's almost a rush. You know what? If customers want to do a run on me, like a run on toilet paper and buy a whole bunch of moves today, you know what? Shoot, line up outside my office with like it's Costco. Come by.
Aldi does have toilet paper, by the way.
Costco does?
No, Aldi does.
Oh, Aldi. See, now everybody's going to tune out and go to Aldi now. All right. Anthony Walmsley, Michael Cadden, bars if you're American. Okay. See, the Brits are always talking about the bar when they come on here. No thanks. She gets messy. Y'all are wild. Renee Daniels, we are doing virtual BMA appointments, virtual rental tours. Agents are surprisingly agile. We are thankful we have the tools and resources to manage. That's good. That's good info there. We are doing virtual BMA appointments, virtual rental. Renee, I'd love to know more about these virtual appointments and virtual tours. Here's the link, Renee. If you're feeling froggy, hit that link. Anybody else that has something to say or wants to share their opinion, hit the link. You write it down. I know you probably can't copy and paste it, but just come on. It's fun. Let's see here. Zach Baz, this insight is refreshing. Thanks, Zach. Michael Cadden, more work in place. He's seeing more work in place or forecasting more work in place. Anthony says if it's long-term, we're all done. That's a real fear, Anthony. In fact, it brings me to a question here that one of our viewers asked, my good friend Jake Lowry down in Kansas, I believe now. Ben, any insight into how relocating companies can stay competitive and offer a solution to the current problem? Brad, what are your thoughts about what can companies do to kind of stay relevant,
Relocation companies, or are they talking corporate clients?
Let's say relocation companies.
Well, I mean, obviously, I think you need to instill a sense of confidence in your client base that you're here. I personally don't share the opinion that this is going to go on for a year and we're all going to be blown out. I don't share that opinion. Certainly, it's extremely challenging for us. If it goes 3-6 months, certainly there may be some companies that don't make it. But as a corporate client, I think you have to ask the question, how financially strong is your relocation company? How well financed are they? Because certainly if if the bottom's falling out, are they going to have access to financing to be able to finance their clients and transferees programs? All of those questions. Is your RMC currently involved in a merger or an acquisition? Because personally, from my experience, I was involved in an acquisition. We were the company that was acquired. This was early in my career, and that was incredibly disrupting, not only for us as employees, but also for our clients. So certainly with the COVID-19 crisis we're currently having right now, that's disruptive all by itself. Add into the fact that if there's a merger or an acquisition, I mean, that's going to create some problems. So I think those are some of the things that that corporations can ask. As far as how they can stay competitive and offer a solution, that's a tougher question. I guess that's $1 million question.
Yeah.
If I had an answer, I'd give it to you.
That's more of a strategic question. You know, I think what we need to do first, Jake, and I don't know the answer, but I think I can lend an idea towards the methodology, right? How to get there.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the first thing you do is you talk to your customers, right?
Yeah.
And I know it sounds so basic, right? Talk to your customers. Well, I do that every day. No, like really sit down, maybe over a glass of wine, really spend some time asking why, right? And they're going to talk to you about their vulnerabilities, and they're going to talk to you about what their challenges are, and just keep asking why and keep trying to understand the fundamental root cause towards it. And I think there will be problems that emerge that you have a potential to solve. And when you understand what their problems are and really work towards developing new solutions, and instead of doing a copycat approach to relocation where it's like, oh, I'm going to be, you know, another blue truck, or I'm going to be another RMC. It's like, be different, you know. Good
Well,
question.
find whatever your lane is and what you're good at, and go with that. You know, kind of blaze your own trail and be like we are, I believe, entrepreneurial in spirit and in practice. Don't be afraid to try new things. Surround yourself. That's always been my personal philosophy. You know, I've been at this a long time. I've been at this 25 years. And my personal philosophy has always been surround yourself with the best people and the best suppliers there are. And together you'll get through. You'll be able to weather almost anything. That's my own
good tip.
Personal philosophy.
My dad's checking in. Great timely topic.
Oh.
Thanks, Dad.
So he's Danny number one.
He's number two.
Number two.
So my dad is Dan Benners Cross Jr. I'm Dan Benners Cross III.
I did not know that.
And this little guy right here. Oh wait, hold on. I got a better one. This little guy right here. Look, how cute is this?
That's you've got a great looking family.
That's number 4. I know, aren't I blessed? That's number 4.
Number
that was 4. I think it was at my little brother's graduation.
You know, you look like your dad.
Yeah, right. I was like 200 pounds lighter. Anyway, thanks, Dad. Appreciate you. Love you. Janet saying, hey, Roger. Jake, more specifically, the possibility of keeping crews busy with Amazon furniture deliveries or other avenues. Yeah, if you're a moving company, definitely diversifying in other areas. Although you're going to see, you know, these other things are not recession, proof either, right? Yeah. I mean, buying furniture.
Well, look at the news that came out today. You know, obviously, you know, being here in Detroit, you know, the automotive industry is extremely important to this area, and of course, the big 3 domestic automakers, they've shut their plants down, and now they're pivoting towards making medical equipment, ventilators, and those sorts of things as a way to help. I mean, that's kind of the ultimate pivot. You go from making Ram trucks to making, you know, ventilators.
That's a big ventilator.
Yeah.
We might all get hooked up to like one of those. That'd be interesting. A General Motors ventilator.
Yeah,
hey.
I'd buy one.
Hey, yeah, sure. buy American.
Exactly.
It looks like Janet's looking at store fixture moves, but they're getting impacted as well. Brian admits he fat fingered the angry button. Love you anyway, Brian. It's okay, man. You're not the first person to be angry at Relo. Thanks, Brian. Love you too, man. Brian was on the show too. So shout out to Brian, also overseas.
Disappointment viewing, I'm telling you.
Let's see here. Let's see here. We got some people checking in. Oh man, look at all these comments. I love it. Oh, this is just beautiful. Man, there's so many beautiful people here. Working place. Oded says your boy Blue checking in from Boston. You're my boy Blue. Michael Cadden, people love being with people. That's right. You know what? And this is our opportunity to come together, you know?
It is.
Yeah, it really is. So appreciate everybody that's with us right now. I feel like you're with me right now, and it's such a cool feeling. And Brad, when you get off this afterwards, I'm going to call you up, and you're going to like tell me how much you enjoyed this, because it's something about it's just something about being with people, you know? Thank you so much for being here anyway. Simon Johns, Michael Cadden, spot on, absolutely agree. Jody Harris checking in here from I believe Johnson Controls, I believe. Jody Harris, U.S. Department of State likely to issue level 4 warning. U.S. citizens should go home or plan to stay indefinitely. U.S. borders may close. We should prep for that. We are at the beginning of the curve. Yeah.
Well, you know that the obviously being in Detroit, we border Canada. The Canadian-U.S. border is now shut, with just essential travel being allowed, and really the only U.S. and Canadian citizens are allowed. And personally, for me, being Canadian and my parents living across the river in Windsor, you know, and they're elderly. My father has Parkinson's. He's part of the high risk. I talked to him today. They're doing well, but you know, it's completely shut. And I don't believe I've seen that. Well, not since 9/11 has something like that happened, where they've just completely shut the border. And you know, if you live in a border community like Windsor, Detroit, there are the two cities and two economies are very interdependent. And you have a lot of Canadians that work in the United States. You have a lot of Americans that work in Canada. So that's huge disruption right there.
Speaking of folks in other places, we've got another guest here. I'm going to bring him on here. My good friend Drew Phillips. Drew, how are you?
I'm good, buddy. Can you hear me?
I can.
Perfect. Yeah, sheltered in place, right?
Where are you coming to us from, Drew?
Bay Area, San Francisco Bay Area. I'm in the East Bay. I'm about 13 miles away from the city, which on a normal business day is about an hour and a half in traffic. Today it's 25 minutes. It's like my normal Sunday drive. I'm to and from in 25, no traffic, no anything. So it's a little different. Again, to echo our friend up in Napa, moving essential services. Yes, guys, it's business as usual for the movers, right? So
what does that mean, the shelter in place? You know, I've heard of it, but I don't know specifically what that means.
Yeah, no, that just means they're seriously asking everyone to be home. Okay, you can go out to gas up if you need. You can go out to check on family if you need. You can go to get groceries as needed. Again, only essential services are to be out and about. So that's still your mail, that's your garbage, that's your police and fire, your medical, your hospitals are running. Again, my older college kids are employed at food service places and big box stores, and those kids are they're calling. They're like, Dad, we're on online school for all of our college courses, and we're just cashing in the hours right now because people still need to buy products, right? So again, to echo the Napa note that we got earlier, that folks are still moving. You know, moving is a part of essential services. Yes, moving is still happening. So don't hesitate about that. There's we haven't seen much in the way of postponement on that side. Of course, global mobility due to borders, due to international flights and things of that nature, that's obviously slowing down, but the moving is not so much.
Are you seeing, Drew, what are you seeing from a business standpoint, from initiations and volume and things like that? I mean, what are you hearing?
Yeah, we're initially, especially in the Bay Area, California, if you will, it took a little bit of time to set up and assess, to get these larger corporations to get their people remote and set up and working remote. So there was a little bit of a lull in initiation because of that, right? HR got directly affected with having to now manage people working from home. So obviously security and things of that nature had to get set up. So there was a little bit of a bump. Now you have a bump with just borders closing, right? So we're seeing some initiations there. Just on the global mobility side of things.
What do you think this summer is going to be like, which is in the US, peak mobility season in the summer, typically between, basically Memorial Day to Labor Day. That's when the kids are out of school, everybody moves. That's kind of like Black Friday for the moving relocation industry.
Sure.
What do you think's going to happen, Drew?
It's going to get hairy, right? We're going to have to double down and just work it. It's going to be busy. I no doubt about it, right? This thing's what has been asked of us in the shelter in place is to, as Brad alluded to earlier, is to get ahead of that curve, is to lower that curve, right? So beat this spread as much as possible. And I think that's going to come sooner rather than later. And I think when everything kicks back up, like Brad said, they're not missing a beat, right? Our team, our Sterling Lexicon team, we're not missing a beat, right? We've prepared, things are in place, everyone's ready. And when it picks back up, we're only going to have to pick up in the busy with a backlog of a month and a half or so, right? So you're going to have the norm plus your backlog, and everybody want it now.
Yeah. So you anticipate most of the moves that are not going to happen, let's say between now and May 15 for 2 months, you anticipate seeing most of that in peak season, or do you anticipate a significant percentage of that just not happening at all?
No, a minor percent maybe, but what we're hearing is that it's just going to be moved back, right? Everyone's just anticipating to get through the hump and then open the doors. And so that's what we're getting from our clients, prospective clients, and we're holding virtual roundtables, if you will, just to keep people engaged. And that's everybody has the general understanding that this is temporary, right? We're having to get used to the new norm. I see our good friend Thomas Bailey working from the house in the bed. Good for you, Connie. I love it, by the way. But it's all just temporary. Everybody's chomping at the bit to get back. It is a little eerie to go to these campuses, your Apples, your Googles, your Facebooks, whether you're driving by or what have you, and they are just empty. My drive in the front of my house is busier with people walking than those campuses are at any point in time during the day. And that's weird because they're hosting thousands and thousands of people a day. That just aren't there anymore. So
you mentioned that there's a ton of people out walking, right? And so shelter in place is the order. So it sounds like that doesn't apply to walking. You can still
they want you to exercise, use discretion with your social distancing, things of that nature. It's kind of a joke because that's not kind of a joke, but I saw some dads out in the court. My neighborhood is filled with a lot of good gentlemen and women that serve in law enforcement. And so as soon as all those guys and gals got done with their shifts, they are literally standing in a circle out in front of everyone's home, 6 feet apart, cracking a brew, right? And I'm just like, hey, there you go. And those are the guys that are guys and gals that are, serving us medically, coming to the accidents and making sure everyone's well. And they're out there doing their social part and just relieving themselves after long days. But no, walks are still allowed. Listen, they closed golf courses and anything activity outside. They closed the parks and things of that nature. But they're encouraging you to get out and exercise. Again, mind your social distancing and just have some common sense, stay safe and sanitized. But look, we live in a nice place out here in California. The weather's great and people are still getting outside. So shelter in place, only the necessary travels for, again, things like food, It's takeout only, so restaurants even are still open, bare bones. You can go and pick up your food and go from there. No eat in, no dine in, no anything like that. But it's a little bit different. But again, new norm.
Yeah.
You know, you mentioned how do we socialize while we're also social distancing, you know, and standing in your driveway and having a block party. Everybody just stands in their driveway and yells at each other. Hey, how's it going? You know? But and then we get to do stuff like this. I know my wife tonight told me I better be home because she's got a mom's group tonight where they're doing it online.
Virtual.
They're doing this. She's like, do we have wine in the house? She's gonna like sit in front of her computer and do this basically.
We had I hosted a virtual happy hour last night and everybody. You all know I don't drink. Hosted it nevertheless with a few channel partners, and we had a good time. Right. It to me it was pretty awesome because it was organic. It was fun. People are at their home where they're comfortable, discussing business. Things flowed even more natural, if you will, than if you're a little guarded in some of the networking spaces.
Sure.
So that was fun. And I anticipate we'll obviously do more, and those types of things will only grow. I mean, I've got a list here in front of me of all of the different, you know, whether it's Zoom, Skype, WebEx, LinkedIn, Google Hangout, just all the platforms, right, that people prefer. And people are just hitting me up with, hey, let's chat on here and sending me their links. So get used to those platforms and let's utilize them. You know, it's business as usual, just different. The business flow is different, right?
Right.
It's not face to face; it's virtual face to face.
I have a question, Drew. Since it sounds like you have a pretty good understanding of this, what's a good platform? Like, say we want to do a relocation happy hour or something like that. We want to do it kind of like we're doing now, but maybe with 20 people or 40 people. I mean, is there a video conferencing platform that could accommodate 20 or 40 people, and you could maybe talk to the group, or you could probably more likely like, you know, DM each other on the side, like, hey, Brad, how's it going, buddy? Or hey, Drew, how's it going, buddy?
Yeah.
You know, is there something like that?
Yeah, there. Look, you've got your Zooms. You've got your GoToMeetings, even, right? Just throw a virtual happy hour on a GoToMeeting. Everybody can let their mics flow and have a good time. You can post as many as 20 some odd people on those platforms.
Yeah,
maybe even more. Yeah,
we should do that. Okay,
that would be fun.
It's a hoot. Seriously, guys, it's a good time to see folks in their own kitchen mixing it up, and just again, they're home, they're comfortable, right? They're in their safe spot. So
love it. Just a couple of quick little comments here. People are having a lot of fun here and commenting and feeling comfortable. Anthony Walmsley over at in the UK, the British government has stated they will support businesses. I've actually heard from people in the UK that a lot of moving companies are kind of laying people off because the government has they will help people, and so they're kind of basically saying, hey, we're gonna get you off our books and you can have government assistance here, and we'll hire you back when this blows over. Anthony Walmsley says no surveys, no work. Jason Rollins, this call is wonderful, much needed this week. Thank you, Ben. Thank you, Jason. Anthony Walmsley says, ask Brad. This one's for you, Brad. Ask Brad if he's ever heard of Southward, and Southward in Flint, Michigan.
No.
Anthony, we're in Detroit.
But now, see, now I want to look it up.
Yeah, we're in Detroit. We don't get up to Flint much, you know.
Maybe to fly, but
Victoria McCullers says, yes, my company Cardis is going through the acquisition with Serva. We've been working remotely for a couple of weeks now. Danielle Andre Margarito, hi all. Hi. Anthony Walmsley, what a great bloke Drew is. What a great bloke you are, Drew. Lisa Johnson, Gen Zoom. She's coining the term Gen Zoom. Danny Vandermeer offers Microsoft Teams. Lisa Johnson, Zoom. Simon John says, let's do it. They're already at the pub over there anyway. Michael James, genius idea, Ben, #cheers. So it sounds like we've got a lot of people open for a happy hour.
Zap me that link. I'll hop on.
Yeah,
Wow.
it'd be a lot of fun. There's a few things I just noticed here, and I just want to give some updates here. I did see a notice saying Everlywell is a company that has announced an in-home test for coronavirus starting March 23rd. It does require a prescription via telemedicine to get it, and I imagine they send it to you. So we'll see how that develops. If you haven't already done so, please go ahead and donate to Move for Hunger right now. Again, there are kids out there that rely on school lunch. There you go. Thanks, Brad. The finger of God. Thank you, Brad. I appreciate it. You're great. Worldwide ERC has just launched an information center dedicated to coronavirus updates. I've posted a link to that on the Love and Relo page on Facebook. So if you want some coronavirus updates as it pertains to the relocation industry, any information I get, I'm posting on the Love and Relo page. So go check there for updates. You can also watch our old shows there. We've done 3 this week on coronavirus specifically. It also has a counter by country with infections and, unfortunately, death as well. Some van lines I'm seeing, including national van lines, are moving to EFT, electronic fund transfer payments, versus traditional paper checks, which is designed to facilitate cash flow and be less prone to interruptions should something happen. AIR's relocation did publish a nice video piece with an accompanying PDF, which I've also published on Love and Relo about how to stay sanitary while doing moves. Just always trying to elevate anybody that's putting thought leadership out there around that. The Department of Defense also came out and clarified that the only types of moves they are doing until May 15 are retiree shipments, separation shipments, non-temp storage delivery outs, and anything that also has an emergency authorization in writing from the personal property shipping office. And I imagine that that'll probably be only 10% of total volumes. There's about 30 to 40,000 shipments a month for March and April that are probably going to get pushed to peak if we're lucky, hopefully. Pharmacies are seeing steady volumes. British moving companies, as we said before, are going through some layoffs, is what I'm hearing. Freightwaves is reporting that trucking companies are doing some layoffs as well, General Freight. And AMSA 40 Below, for those of you who are a member of the American Moving and Storage Association and under 40, is hosting a virtual meetup as well.
Nice.
I think you might still be a card-carrying member of the 40 Below. I don't think I've wrested it from your cold old hands yet.
That is long since in my rearview mirror.
Oh yeah, but you know what? As a member of the YP40 committee for Worldwide ERC, I'm not sure if anybody else is watching, but I'm going to pledge that we will also do a virtual meetup as well, YP40 for ERC. So look forward to that. And and also, if you are in the moving industry and you are an owner operator or you own a small business in relocation, don't forget that the SBA has made funds available to SBA's Economic Injury Disaster Loan Program. SBA is offering low interest economic injury disaster loans, EIDLs, to impacted business and nonprofits as well. Qualifying small businesses can apply for an EIDL valued up to $2 million to pay fixed debts, accounts payable, payroll, and other bills that cannot be met due to the pandemic's impact. So I encourage all of you to get in line for those if you need them. Any parting words or any other final thoughts from either of you gentlemen?
Well, I mean, I think from our perspective, I think probably the most important thing is to stay informed. This is a great platform for that, because certainly I've learned a few things today that I did not know. So I think that's extremely important. And if you've got good information to share, please, send that stuff out. And obviously, probably the most important thing is if you follow the guidelines that the CDC has set out, if you follow those strictly, we'll get through this much quicker.
Yeah, help your community out. Follow the guidelines. Do your best. It's not just us and our household that it's affecting, right? It's our fathers, it's our mothers. It's those in the community that are elderly, and
it's me.
Be aware of that. And,
I mean, I'm in one of those risk groups, so I've got to be really careful.
Yeah, just transparency, stay connected, right? And be honest with your fellow man, give a hand, help out, and look at the silver linings, right? There's a ton of good that'll come from it. Look, everyone's focusing on the house and the family and the community right now. It sucks that we have to go through it, but what a breath of fresh air. Honestly, I know business is hard and things of that nature, but it's only hard if you let it be. There's tons of good that'll come from it, and Ben, Brad,
I believe that too. There is some good that's going to come out of all of this.
Sure.
It's hard to see it now, but it will.
Absolutely. All right, guys.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate
all right, buddy.
Today. This has been Love and Relo, another COVID-19 update and some additional thoughts and inspiration. Stay positive out there. Look for the silver linings. Love one another. Reach out. Stay connected digitally. Look for some of those happy hours that are coming out. I appreciate all of you that have watched, all of you that are sharing this. Please go ahead and subscribe, like it, follow it on Facebook and on YouTube as well. I'm trying to put as much information out there as possible for people to stay abreast of the changes. So thank you so much.
Ben, did you get those